Cool. So we're doing HTML, and we just learned about document structure, document layout, and document flow. And so here's some new elements and tags that we're going to look at. Header, it's the top of your document. That's the element used for the top of your document or for the top of an article. Nav, main. Nav is for navigation. Main is like the main thing on an HTML page. You can only use it once on a page. Article and section. Think of the newspaper, right? The newspaper has sections. The main A section, right, with the home, I want to say the home page, but the front page of the paper. And then it's got like the business section and the weekend section. And then each section might have articles. You know, so here's an article on economic aid to California. And then each article might have sections, right? California governor's response, Trump's response, you know, Congress and Senate's response, the legislator's response. And so there's sections, which could have articles, which could have sections. But you got to kind of think about, what is it? Is it an article with sections in it, or is it a section that has articles? Then we have an aside. It's just like, hey, and by the way, over here, it's tangentially related to the content that's going on. So use an aside for that. And then we have a footer. We have H1 through H6, which creates the prioritized list of your document. So what's the most important? It's that which is in an H1. What's the least important area? It's that which is in an H6. So that's how you signify to search engines, this is what this page is about. This H1 right in here, right? That's what it's about. Figure and fig caption, pretty straightforward. Here's a figure. And address for addresses. Takeaways is don't just use divs, use semantic HTML. The most specific and applicable element. All right, document structure terminology. We looked at all that already. There is something called the HTML5 outline algorithm. It's a bit of a rat hole. It's not used. When you're going to outline your document, just use H1 through H6. The outline algorithm is something that was built, developed, and never caught on, and is not implemented by any of the browsers or screen readers. So you could spend a tremendous amount of time researching it. It's confusing, but nobody implements it or uses it. When you create the outline of your document, use H1 through H6 for the different levels. Okay? And semantic HTML, this is the main area of the page. Here is the H1. I'm being really clear. This is what that's about. When I use like, here's the main and here's H1, this is what this page is about. Telling search engines what the page is about. So here are some examples. Header section with an article on the side and footer. Here's another one. Header, navigation. That navigation might have been in the header. Either way. Section, article, aside, footer. Header, nav, section with two articles in that section, and a side and a footer. Okay, a header and a footer, and a nav over on the left, and an article in the middle. The article has a header and a footer, and inside the article there are two sections, and then that aside has three sections. And that comes from Hong Kong Cat, I guess, or something like that. There's a teacher who was an alcoholic, and she used to get drunk. She'd bring her liquor in and pour. Not good. My friend's wife, and then they ended up getting divorced. All right, so that's pretty clear, right? That's a good example. And a section versus article. Think about newspapers, right? We just kind of talked about that. And there's some good examples of that somewhere, which we'll probably see in a moment. So here's a hands-on exercises, which you can do if you would like, right? You could open up these images, and you could say, hey, how would I categorize all this with HTML? How would I categorize it? Have we done this? No, we haven't, have we? Wow. So how would I categorize that? Sid, I see you. So here's like one possible solution. You know, like, okay, up here's my nav, sweet. There can only, like, nav is for main navigation for the whole site, not for intra-page navigation. Heading 1 maybe is New York Times. Heading 2 is the date maybe. Here's an aside. Asides are good for, and we'll see this in a second, for like advertisements. Here's main article, H1, city scrapes snow off after winter blast, right? So this is how you'd start to think about it. And that's what you basically are doing. It's like, I got to put this text, this content into tags, elements. What kind of elements am I going to use on this? And so you might pencil sketch out, all right, we'll have these areas and these will be the tags, and then, you know, this will be where the thing is there, and this will be main article, and here are some asides, and now you're using semantic HTML. So you could open up more of these and you could see more of those hands-on challenges and solutions. And if you happen to be out there in the great big World Wide Web and you're watching this video, you could go to our course outline where you could do that right here. Go to that. And if you want to take this entire course, where do they all go? You go to Creator Commons. And right here, HTML, CSS is the whole course. And that's like 32 hours of HTML, CSS goodness. All right, so digging into semantic HTML, header nav main. So a header, and now I guess maybe we'll do this in the next video. Let's keep breaking them up. Document structure is what we're calling this one.